get this going. Set this up to the tripod. And we'll start unloading the kiln in a little bit. right, let's go ahead and unload the kiln. Okay, we're gonna unload the kiln a little bit. So it looks like we are live. 5 minutes in. Let's go ahead and start unloading the kiln. Got a lot of cool stuff to show you folks. We have a bowl here with a nice Pokemon theme. And for anyone who is wondering, I am a high school ceramics teacher. And so these are majority high school student pieces. That's a really cool glaze. Too bad the lighting in this kiln room is kind of poor. Maybe I could open up some windows. Some natural light. Very cool. Very interesting. Kind of looks like an eyeball. So a lot of bowls. We got a lot of wheel throwers this year. Interesting glaze combo. Like some writing inside. This is a lid to a piece. And then we fire everything with cookies so that if pieces run, they get stuck to the cookie rather than the kiln shelf. Nice little toothpick holder. Bigger bowl. Nice designs inside. It's a lid to another piece. Maybe that other piece is in here. We'll put that on the side. Oh, this one's pretty cool. We have a nice little floral design. Hand painted and dipped in different colors. All right, if you're coming and jumping in, don't be afraid to say hi and say, where are you from? Another lid. Sometimes I fire pieces separately to make it easier so they don't get stuck and makes it easier for the students to color. You know, another lid, lots of lids. Bigger heart piece. Nice tiered, different storage levels. Very cool. All right, sorry for the clatter. That is just the cookies we're putting away. We fire everything on cookies. And half shelf, just like in my last kiln loading video, this shelf broke, so we just sanded the edges so they're not so sharp. Kiln wash, re-kiln wash the top. And you can see this is old pieces that were fired on it, so we don't touch the bottom, but half shelf so we can fire different levels. All right, and sometimes we fire some weird stuff on different shelves. So here's a piece that I made. Got to sneak it into the kiln. Nice little drizzle design. Love that ring. Sings. Breaking down, put all the posts away. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just leave it there and it just gets everywhere. All right, hello to whoever just joined. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. And I'm trying out a new wireless mic, so please let me know how the audio sounds. I got a penguin. Some glaze is missing in spots, but you can easily reglaze that. Piggy bank, put coins in. And a bunny, another piggy bank. Gotta get a plug. Very nice. Any Pokemon fans out there? Got Electabuzz, I believe. The head is outside. We fired that earlier, a separate firing. It turned out really cool. And just miscellaneous bowls. It's one of our newer glazes, Laguna Glaze. I think it's called Desert Sunset or Brilliant Sunburn, one of those. And on the inside here is a light flux. So Mako light flux. You brush it on and it creates this more melting look. So cool stuff that students are trying out. Another newer glaze, robin's egg, light flux again. Test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Okay, my mic does work. Okay, my mic does work. All right. Got some fish on a nice blue cup. And this student was making a basketball cup. Nice weight. Simple. Eggshell white. This little block of color. Cleaner. So I believe this is the lid. Some cool melting going in. Love this amber brown glaze. And we have a gray or blue-gray glaze. Another lid for a piece. This is in the next firing, I believe. Oh, this is cool. Hand brushed. Cool. Aha, and here is the cat that pairs with this one. There we go. Oh, there's a butt. And this is a two-part piece. I'll try to find all the parts to put it together. And then some plugs for the different pieces. Let's get all the cookies. So for those who ever need to fire a kiln, making these cookies are a great time investment. They will prevent your pieces from getting stuck to the kiln if there's a meltdown. And they can be reused over and over again, which is awesome. All right, hello to whoever is watching out there. More flat pieces coming up. It's always cool to break open a kiln and see what's inside. It looks like we're finally making mates with other parts. So we have this tomato finally getting complete. Very cool. Nice and clean, something you could buy at a store. And more bowls. Love the detail on this, all hand painted. Very cool. All right, another one of the newer glazes, light flux, is on top. Got some nice melting action over there. Simple two-tone color. All right, we got some more interesting looking pieces. So this project was to make something that's eccentric, and I really think this one matches that theme. Same thing with these two pieces. Eccentric. Got some blood dripping out of the eyes. Now I can use it to store jewelry. Very cool. We have a cat container. That looks awesome. Calico cat, I believe. Nice. A cherry teapot. The lid is somewhere else in there. We'll go find that lid soon. And some coasters that we've made in the past. This is a level 1 project. A nice little opposites project, day and night, a nice frame, cool depth to it. All right, hello to the new people watching. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Robin's egg has been very popular this year. And let's break down the rest of the blocks. This one we practice embossing. So you have to stamp the piece to make a high and low spot. Very simple, but looks clean. Ooh, that one felt stuck. Nothing sticking to it though. All right, more robin's egg and flux. Pair of matching bowls, very cool. And now moving into some Pokemon. I'm not too sure which one this one is. I only played the original. And then we have the head that pairs with it. Or is it this way? There we go. Doesn't that look super cool? This was our pinch pot project for the level 1s. Got a turtle. Piggy bank turtle. Alright, first coffee cup or teacup to pair with the cherry teapot. And then the second one, they put dice on the lid, and we'll find it in a little bit. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is cool. It can act as a lid for the cup or the teapot. That is the set. And then I believe this is called Pachaco. Sleeping. Very cute. Nice container to store things. Thank you, Manic Mugs. Yeah, it's always cool to see student pieces come out after they spent months creating. Another one of my favorites, Snorlax. And I believe this is supposed to be a shiny Snorlax, and here's the lid for it. I'm not too sure which way it goes. Something like that. And then we have headless Winnie the Pooh. We'll find the head somewhere. And for all you Batman fans, simple, clean. Very cool. All right, collect the cookies. Pardon my fuzzy head. This kiln room's always a little tight, a bunch of crap everywhere. All right, collect the posts. All right, last level, and then we're gonna reload the kiln up with pieces that need to be bisque fired and finished before the end of the school year. All right, last level. All right, got some cool looking pieces just peeking in. All right, looks like we found Winnie the Pooh. All right, there's Pooh's head. So it won't be headless. Very cute. Store your goodies in there. And we have a phone speaker. So you put your phone inside, smaller phones. This one doesn't fit, and it amplifies the sound. So if I take my case off, it probably could fit. What level class is being unloaded? This is all levels, so level 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the pinch pot creations you see, these ones, are level 1 students. The bowls and the containers, bowls, jars, mugs, those are level 2 and 3. Some are level 4s as well. But yeah, a lot of these ones with the characters are all level 1. This was their last clay project second to the last clay project of the year. And I always like looking at these ones because they always do such a great job. And this is, you can tell, they drew inspiration from each other. They sat next to each other in the class. And then these are all high school students. So I teach all levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 in ceramics. And freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior. So some of my level 1 students are seniors, some are freshmen. All right, so here's that other piece that we unloaded earlier. This student always makes amazing pieces. And so it pairs with this. So this is a level 3 student. And so much more patience than I do, or I ever will have. Very cool. You can see an open container. I don't know if this was trimmed through or planned. This is the one I've been wanting to look at. That is some awesome glazing. I gotta ask the student what color they used. Beautiful purple trailing. It must have been one of the flux glazes. But that inside is beautiful. Might have to say the piece got lost in the kiln and I can keep this myself. All right, a lid to the box. This one was not fired with the base and it warped because of the shape, so I don't know if this will be able to fit on it anymore. Got a Running Man. So one cool thing, if you didn't know, you could actually fire pieces with underglaze touching the kiln shelves, and some of the kiln wash may get stuck, but a nice sanding will remove it, and you can actually have color. So if you wanted to, you could color the bottoms of pieces too. And these orb vases are just beautiful. First year throwing for this student. Hello to all the new people joining. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, comment, or just say what's up. This always feels super nice in the hand. Nice clean glaze lines too. And a nice little pour. Make a little matcha in there. That's awesome. Like, to have the patience to paint all of this is something that I feel like I'll never have. Shark mug. This avocado has seen better days. I wonder if you can see it in the camera, but a little dark. There's a little guy in there hiding. And the avocado pit to pear. Such a funny guy. Simple glaze. All right, for those who watched the last kiln loading, here is that other student who always makes mugs. A nice addition to his set. And sadly, looked like this piece split during the firing. I was worried about that happening. A little rough, but nice little handle. Has a nice ring to it. All right, so that is that kiln unloading. I gotta unload all these cookies and reload it for the bisque firing. Second to the last firing of the year. Ooh, that was loud. All right, let's get this cart out of the way. I'll do one last view of all the pieces. So pardon the shakiness, I'm gonna take it off the tripod. All right, there we go. One kiln firing. And now we gotta load up all of these bisque pieces. A lot of them are flat plates. Let's get this mounted and finish the last load of today. If I can figure out how to do this. There we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties. That feels secure. Nope, it does not. All right. So let's go ahead and get this last load in. Looks like we got a glaze drip here. So let's go chip that off. That's a bisque firing, it won't melt. All right, we'll leave that in for now. And let's get the first level in. And just drop these plates in. And because it's a bisque fire, let them touch. All right, got another little Snorlax here. So the first few pieces I loaded were just plates. Nice shell. Love the texture. Very cool. Cast awesome shadows. A few more throne pieces. A bowl full of little trinkets and things. Testing out some new wire. A little face. Got a little fish here. Loving the texture on these plates. And it's going to be a pretty loose kiln pack since there's not that many more pieces that need to be fired, especially because there are a lot of flat ones. This one always kind of scares me. Don't want the tail to break. A little too big. It's where playing Tetris as a kid helps out. All right, can any other pieces fit? A little peaky shell. Go. Okay, next level. All right, hello to whoever just joined. We're loading up a bisque kiln. Very cool chip and dip bowl. The student's first attempt making this. Turned out great. All right, almost done loading up this shelf. Part of my head in the way. All right, next level, split levels. All right, we got a cool piece coming out. We're gonna add in. This large piece. Another chip and dip bowl, but this time it's a heart. This one's hand built. Another heart piece. Nice little foot on the bottom. And sometimes when there's space and you don't want it to be wasted, you just get pieces in so you maximize the space of the kiln. And then I just pin, oh shoot. I just pin a cookie next to it so it doesn't move. All right, let's get one more piece in that space. This one's not fully dry, it's still cold to the touch, but we're gonna do a long preheat so that everything can dry out before the firing. Okay. And I apologize if you're watching this and it pains you for how loose the kiln pack is. Not a lot of pieces for this last firing since it's probably the last one or second to the last one of the year. Hopefully it'll be the last. All right, I think we're ready for the taller pieces. It looks like we forgot one round of short pieces. It looks like that's my only piece, so we'll just add some cookies as fillers. And this is just so that the heat doesn't exit the kiln too fast. So another benefit of having cookies. All right, taller pieces now. We have a cool popcorn box character. And we have a barrel mug. And just like in the last video, wax on your handles to prevent it from cracking or help reduce the chances of it cracking. And an awesome vase with some organic designs on top. This was just made out of slabs. Very, very cool. Capybara. Planter. And it's like a bowl platform with some wood texture. And once again, I know this kiln pack is super loose, but with the last firing of the year, don't have too many pieces left. All right, and then we have toothless mug. So cool, so detailed. And then another matcha bowl with strawberries on it. Once again, this one is still not bone dry, but we're gonna go ahead and do a long preheat because we gotta get these fired and back to the students. And then a bunch of bowls, textured bowls. All right, adjusting them because we have one more bowl to throw into here. And we're gonna get one of my favorite pieces made by a level 1 student on this last level. Hello to whoever joined. We are loading a kiln today, and we're almost done loading the kiln. All right, and the last piece for this kiln load. And then, of course, it's not fully dry because we're going to do a long preheat. But this big guy, this big sumo, level 1 student, first year doing ceramics. This is a big, hefty piece. I want to say it's about 5 pounds. We're going to put it in the kiln and let it dry slowly. Pray to the kiln gods. All right, we got 2 more pieces. Two more cups. And it just pains me for how loose this kiln pack is. But it is what it is. All right, that is it. Thank you for those who were watching, and thank you to those who are watching it after the stream has been published. If you just joined in, we just finished loading the kiln. I know there's a lot of space left over, but we just got to fire it because it's the last kiln firing of the school year. So hopefully you enjoyed watching it. If you want to watch the full thing, as soon as I end the stream, it'll be posted to the YouTube in the live section. All right, thank you for watching and have a good one.